If you asked me what is the best time to read a book, I would say there isn't one, and here's why. If you want to know what's your best time to read a book, you have to understand this, that different books require different level of your mental energy. And when I say that, you have to put this thing in your mind that everyone has different level of mental energy, which means that your and my level of mental energy could be completely different. So simplify, you can categorize your books into these three categories: light read, focus read, and deep read. Now you may ask, what does this even stand for? Then listen to me. Let me start with light reads. It requires a minimal amount of your mental energy, which means reading this book is analogous to watching a YouTube video while you're munching on your breakfast, because it contains one of the simplest ideas that you can ever find. Now moving on to focus reads. It requires a sustainable amount of your mental energy. Usually we read these books before going to bed when we have a balanced level of our mental energy, because these books are easy to read and understand. Now moving on to deep reads. It requires most of your mental energy, and usually we read this book in the early mornings when we are full of energy, because these books are full of complex ideas. Pause the video here and right now until you have done categorize your books according to the level of your mental energy. And if you've already done that, then let me give you some examples for your better understanding. Let's say you wake up in the morning with high energy. In this case, which book from what category would you pick to read? Option A, light read. Option B, focus read. Option C, deep read. Well, if your answer is deep read, then you're definitely correct. Now let's say last night you really didn't slept well, and as a result, today your energy is very low. Then in this scenario, which book would you read? Option A, light read. Option B, focus read. Option C, deep read. If your answer is light read, then bingo, you are going in the right direction. And for the last example, let's take a different scenario. Let's say you're in the middle of your working hour and you get a 30 minutes worth of a break, Now tell me which book you would pick from what category. Comment down below and I will review it. So the conclusion is, to find your best time to read a book, you have to figure out what's your level of mental energy throughout the entire day, as it always varies, and that's why there isn't any universal best time to read a book. One important thing that I would include apart from all this is your interest and mood does matter. For example, let's say you have high energy, which means you can read books with complex ideas, but you feel like reading focus or light reads instead of deep read, which you can definitely do. What's wrong when what you're doing is just follow your heart, right? Yeah, of course. But what you can't do is, let's say you have low energy, but you wanna read, deep reads or focus reads, which requires more energy. Well, you can do it, but it's more likely whatever you're gonna read, it's gonna get above your head. So I wouldn't really suggest that. But still, if you wanna read books with complex ideas, which requires most of your both visualization and understanding power, then I would definitely suggest you to improve your level of mental energy. And by the way, if you don't know how to do that, then I would love to explain. What you have to do is just comment down below if I make or not, because I love to. Before I go, I would love to present you with the question about this book, which is called The Man's Guide to Women. Well, tell me, in what category would you put it in according to your level of mental energy Would it be light reads, focus reads, or deep reads? Comment down below and I will review it. So I will see you in the next video. Until then, sayonara.